195 then for the Lucknow Super Giants, who've almost made it a habit to score these 180, 190 scores without breaking much of a sweat. KL Rahul, once again, central to their plan. 77 for the Lucknow captain. Wonderful half-century from Deepak Hooda to his third of this season. They got 15 the last 5. At one stage, we thought they're surely looking good for 200 or more. I wonder if Delhi would feel they're in the game. Sunrisers got 195 at the wicket and saw that chase down by the only team that's doing this, the Gujarat Titans. So we'll see what Dan Vettori and Ben Cutting make of that first innings on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout, powered by IQ9 5G. Happier if you're Lucknow Super Giants at halftime?
I think so. It was an easy 195, just sort of breezed their way to it. I mean, the partnership between Rahul and Hooda was T20 cricket at its finest in terms of there was no slogging, it was just quality hitting. And we expect that with Rahul, but I think Hooda matched him in terms of the innings and the tempo and the shot making. Yeah,
would you go with that, Ben? I mean, that partnership, 95 of 60 between them, it's just what you want to see in a T20 side.
Yeah, perfect. That's that's one of the perfect partnerships. When you're 1 wicket down. I thought they played the tempo really well, like Dan said, but they also played the dimensions very well as well. Particularly when they had some balls and some runs under both of their belts, they then try to take that short boundary on almost every ball there for a period of time.
Would Delhi still feel like they're in this game though, Ben, with 195?
I think so, yeah. It looked like a very fast outfit, and it looked like a pretty good wicket too, to be fair. Maybe a little bit on the slow side, and looking at how they bowled, they went to their slower change of pace more often than not. You could sort of tell that by the first couple of overs, as well as a couple of French cuts for 4, which generally happen when the batter, they're first fresh into the innings, haven't faced a lot of balls, haven't got the pace of the wicket, and they're early on it because it is a slower deck.
All right. Let's start with Deepak Hooda, shall we? Because while KL Rahul, I don't think we'll find anything new to say about KL Rahul. But Hooda with a 52 of 34, that's 3 half centuries this season. He's almost told us why he's batting at 3 and why Manish Pandey wasn't sort of doing that sort of role, fair to say?
I think so, and it was from ball 1. He had a beautiful cover drive, I think it was, that went to the fielder, and it looked like he had a confidence about him as soon as he came to the wicket, and that was at its 4 when Kuldeep Yadav came on, and it looked like there was a plan to almost take him on, because both of them, as soon as he came on, they wanted to attack him. He got a little bit too full, and they were both hit him down the ground or over cover, and they played him exceptionally well, and they took Delhi's trump card out of play, and like I said before, it was just beautiful batting, quality batting, things that you couldn't tell them apart, which not often people are compared with KL Rahul.
Seems to be having a great season, Deepak Hooda, for them, and played the sort of finisher's role. Didn't always make teams or franchises in the past. Batting at number 3, we didn't think he's a typical number 3 in T20s, but his contribution, I think, has almost been, in terms of runs and strike rate, the same as Quinton de Kock's.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I think he only had 350s before the season, and he's matched it with another 3. And part of that is opportunity, the opportunity to bat at number 3. I think every batsman who bats 5 or 6 dreams about batting number 3. They just don't often get that luxury. So for him to get the chance and to take it means that Lucknow top 3 looks as strong as anyone in the competition.
I guess what's impressing, Ben, I wonder if you can add more light to this. He seems to be batting at 3 the way he bats at 5 or 6 anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And the impressive thing for me is how he's evolved over the years. I first saw him in 2016, where he was a very strong batter, hit the ball hard, but he was a 4s and 6s hitter. But he's evolved over time to more of that, that number 3, 4, 5 role now, where he can still hit the power play shots, the 4s and the 6s, but it's in between that has really impressed me the most, where he's picking up his singles, rotating the strike before he picks his ball that he needs to.
Yeah, you agree with Dan that today it looked like Hooda, there was a plan to take on Kuldeep Yadav, plan that worked?
Yes, definitely. On both accounts, plan to take him on and a plan that worked. That's for sure. You've hit the nail on the head there. I think watching Kuldeep bowl, he probably erred on the fuller side at times as well, which helped Hooda because he's got quite long levers, and that's why he can hit that long ball.
I wonder though if Kuldeep Yadav's use would be different if let's say you were handling him today. He's gone for 2 expensive overs. When he's come back, he's bowled a very tidy over to Marcus Stoinis. He ends up being the bowler to not bowl his 4 because Lalit Yadav got the first. Was there a temptation to perhaps give him another one deep into the innings?
We need to go to the preview now whether Rishabh Pant uses his bowlers effectively. Yes. So he doesn't use Kuldeep Yadav when he's bowling well, and he doesn't use him not when he hasn't bowled well, but when he I suppose, hasn't given them the start that they would have liked. But his third over was a good over, and I think as a captain, you've got to reflect on what the last thing you saw in a lot of ways, and that was Kuldeep bowling pretty well, albeit to a new batsman as Stoinis. So I wouldn't have minded him going to him, but I also understand the logic that you set up your back end with your seamers, and particularly Mustafiza was there, and Shuttle Tako, who had bowled pretty well, was their other option.
What about just the position he put himself in, Pant, therefore? We look at the power play, and his use of bowlers in the power play seemed an easy sort of power play, and it perhaps was catalysed with the over from Lalitya, the fourth over that went for 16 again. Now, is that matchup on with Quinton de Kock on strike, or is this now a mistake being made on repeat?
It feels like it's almost overthought, the 5 changes, I think, in that.
Yes, 5 different bowlers in the first 5.
Yeah, in that power play. So that either, there's two ways of looking at it. There's a lack of trust in your power play overs and the bowlers that are there, or you've got a set plan to actually try and disrupt the likes of a Quinton de Kock, who's so free and easy when he comes to the crease, no matter what ball it is. So if it is that, I can understand it. But once again, Lalit Yadav's a part-time bowler. Cal Rahul and Quinton de Kock are 2 of the best T20 players to have ever played the game. So part-timers don't work against those style of players. It's your front-line bowlers that are going to take that sort of player down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if you're a batter, whether you're Rahul, de Kock or anyone, if you look at that Delhi, the options Delhi have been, it's not like they've got, a Bumrah or a Rabada or a Trent Bolt, but they've gone 5 different bowlers in the first 5. Would you rather sort of be, what's harder as a batter, being shown a different bowler so you can't line one up, or having 1 or 2 bowlers, Mustafiza bowled 2, Akshar Patel who bowls in the power play more often? I wonder what you made of Delhi's use of their bowlers.
Look, I think if you've got 5 genuine bowlers that can actually bowl on the power play, it's not a bad option because you can keep it fresh. Batters don't settle against one particular, seamer or spinner. But in this instance, being a part-timer in Yadav, it doesn't really work. I query maybe Delhi have some stats that we haven't seen, that they thought that was a good matchup and was pre-planned, or it was Rishabh Pant just winging it when he was going.
Yeah, it looks like Lalit Yadav is a big part of Rishabh Pant's plans. Bats high up, bowls often at the expense of a frontline bowler, but we'll find out if that's something that Pant puts away pretty soon. What do we say about KL Rahul that we haven't already? Is this again a quintessential Rahul innings where, depending on which side of the result we go at, we can say, could he have gone a gear more? They've only lost the 3 wickets, or did he play his part to perfection for you?
No, I think he played his part to perfection. I thought he was aggressive when he needed to be, and he turned the strike over to Huda as well when was required. So once again, particularly the way he played Kuldeep Yadav, he bought into that. Seemed like that premeditation of let's take him down. I thought it was a fantastic innings.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost struck at that good 130, 140. He's ended with a 150 strike rate, Ben. You get the impression when you watch Rahul that every ball that he even hits for a single, he's capable of hitting as a 6, which perhaps gives us this impression.
And he's in such good nick. That's just the intent he's showing, every ball that he's looking to hit. And that's probably a great lesson for someone, someone that Virat Kohli could probably look at the moment, who obviously scored runs the other night, but still struggling a little bit with the intent phase. And that's where you pick up, you're either going to hit it hard and pick up 1 to the sweeper, or at a good day and a day out, those same shots go for 4, a couple of metres either side of the fielder. And that's where he's at the moment. He's obviously playing very, very well.
What about Marcus Stoinis, Ben? 195 for 6-7 with all your resources pushing you towards it is one way of getting to 195. Today it's 195 for 3 when a Marcus Stoinis coming in at 4 has got 17 of 16, not quite seeing the best of him yet?
Not yet, but we know when he can deliver. It could have been one of those wickets as well where you just have games like that where you go in towards the back end of the innings and you've got to score quick runs, but you just can't find it because you're either over-swinging because you haven't got enough balls under your belt to sum up the wicket. And he's the sort of batter that does like to spend a bit of time summing it up, seeing how the wicket plays. Generally, he's looking to be 5 off 5, 10 off 10 before he pulls the trigger. But batting at that later stage, you don't always get that luck.
Yeah, would you have liked to see him approach it differently though? Because clearly with Kuldeep Yadav, it wasn't like he was trying to whack every ball. He didn't mind consuming a few, and eventually he's not caught up today.
I think it's a consistent method of attack, and I think we've seen it throughout all the times Marcus Stoinis played. So what he needs is just that back end, that last 4 to 5 balls, 3 of them be boundaries, and then all of a sudden it justifies that approach. So he hasn't quite delivered that today, but I think he's got a good enough track record to suggest, given the opportunity, he will.
Right guy to walk in at 4 for you, ahead of a left-hand option of Krunal Pandya or someone else?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying everyone in that situation. We saw in the last game, they obviously worked through a few. They've still got Jason Holder to try as well. So I think they're just trying to work out what their ideal middle platform there is. And they're having that luxury purely because before tonight it was the openers, and now it's the top 3 that are contributing most games.
All right, 196. Big game this for Delhi. Don't win this and suddenly they're not being looked at as seriously as some of the other teams. Prediction for this one? Do you feel like they're going to get it? It'll be a heck of a chase if they do.
It would be a great chase, and it will solidify Delhi as one of the top 4 contenders. So this is the sort of game they need to win to get back from the situation they've put themselves in with being down at the bottom or the near bottom of the table. But I think they have the quality to do it.
Are you backing them for this one then?
No.
Okay, thanks for that, Ben. Thanks for that, Dan. Let's go to Ben Cutting and see if his thoughts are going to translate into his prediction. Katsi?
No, I think they've probably got a few too many runs. It's going to get down to the wire, but I think they've got too many.
All right, let's see if that is indeed the result of this game, and we'll also build up to Chennai Super Kings against Sunrisers Hyderabad in the evening. So join us at the end of this one, building up to the evening fixture on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout, powered by IQ 95G.